Hi. In this video we'll see the main functions of WINLIVE Lyrics and Editor. Basically, the program allows inserting the lyrics and chords in MIDI and MP3 files. The saved file can be read by some software programs, music keyboards and readers able to read the lyrics and eventually the chords as well. Check the list of the several matches in the description. Alright, let's start by uploading a track. We can do this either from menu file, then load file, or by dragging a song within the program. We remind you the matching files. Once the track has been uploaded, it will start playing automatically, and if you uploaded a MIDI file, you'll see a mixer below, or the waveform if you uploaded a MP3, CDG or WAV file. Keep in mind that with CDG files you can insert the chords but not the lyrics. In addition, there are some editing functions, like creating markers, and some options in files saving. Let's go on inserting the lyrics. Click on this button, and the screen related to the lyrics inserting will open. By this we can write the lyrics or upload and paste it if it's already in your laptop. We can save it and view it in capital letters and, lastly, import the lyrics and the related synchronization from a MIDI file or an audio file. Well, let's start synchronizing the lyrics. Choose whether you want to synchronize by syllable, word or line. Now, by clicking on Start, the synchronization starts, and each time you'll click on Start, the lyrics will go on by syllable, word or line, according to your choice. Once the synchronization is over, WINLIVE will ask you whether to save the lyrics in the same file, to copy it or if you want to leave the starting track unchanged. Now, WINLIVE shows one more time the track with the inserted lyrics. If you want to edit the lyrics, you have to click on the button, Edit Car, and below you'll see the text divided into syllable, according to your choice. You can either move your syllables, in order to place them correctly, or edit the lyrics by clicking on it twice. The red mark warns you about the change of line. Let's see briefly the main features to edit the lyrics. From the left you'll find the play button that allows you to start from the indicate point, and the related arrows, forward and back. With zoom, you can zoom or shrink the window related to the lyrics to edit. With shift slide, you can move the entire lyrics forward or back. The button, Step, allows you to insert the event step by step, while the song is played. With sliding screen, you can change the scrolling of the bar in the window of the lyrics to edit. After that, highlight, with a different color, a line. It's a very useful feature if you want to highlight a sentence, like a duet. View the lyrics in lower or uppercase. By clicking on this button, you'll optimize the lyrics, so the changing of page will be placed correctly. Here, you can insert a new lyric or changing of page, and, lastly, by clicking on this icon, the entire text in the track will be deleted. Then, you'll find the icon to save the format line by line, but only for MP3 files. The Restore button allows going back to the original status, but only for MP3 files. With the Save button, you save the text within the file, and finally with the back arrow icon, you go back to the main mode. To insert the chords, the procedure is the same. Click on the button related to the inserting of the chords. Here, you have to insert the chords, one under the other, and in standard notation. You'll use the same functions seen previously to insert the lyrics. Once the synchronization is over, Winlive will show the chords and the related lyrics. Clearly, also in this mode, you could modify the position of the chords according to the underlying lyrics. With Save button, you can save the chords as well, in the respective file. If you want, for the MIDI files you can use the automatic recognition of the chords, by clicking on the MIDI audio chords button. In this case, Winlive will calculate the chords for you, and then by clicking on the Edit Chords button, you can edit and save them within the MIDI file. Let's focus now on how to insert the markers. Basically, markers are reference points in your track that can refer to, for instance, the intro, the verse, the chorus, the instrumental part, and so on. You can insert up to 10 markers for each song. To record the markers, you have to start the song, and at the point you like, click on the Rec button, or use the buttons, Alt+1, Alt+2, Alt+3, and so on. For the MIDI files, you can choose whether the markers have to refer to the beat or to the position, referring to the time. For this, you have to click on the related button, MT. For audio files, instead, you can use only the time reference. Once the markers are recorded, you can move their position by using the following keys. Or you can move them graphically, in the bar shown here. With the play button, you start from the related marker, while here the marker is deleted. In the respective box, instead, you can name your markers. In the end, you can save the markers within the song, by clicking on the button, Save. On the bottom right, you'll find two buttons. The Score button, which lets you see the position of notes in a MIDI track in a pentagram, and with Mixer button, a mixer with the 16 MIDI tracks and the related instruments will be viewed. On the bottom left, you'll find an order. The buttons related to the song. The activation of the metronome, but only for MIDI files. The name of the playing song, the type of file, and the presence of potential markers. The button to exclude the melodic track in MIDI files, MIDI 4-channel. The bottom keys to change the tone, and the top ones for the tempo. Lastly, the path, where the playing song is located. Now, let's check the menu item on top. In the File menu, you'll find the Load Song. Here you can upload the song in order to insert, or edit, the lyrics and chords. With Save button, you can save the song physically. If it's about a MIDI file, you can save the following edits. MIDI channel for the respective tracks. Mute on/off, of MIDI tracks. Fixed volume, to set a fixed volume within each track. With the Start button, from the first note, you could delete the starting silence, or add seconds of silence at the end of the track. By selecting this box, you can save the metronome click, in the MIDI file. Or save the tempo and key variation. Choosing whether to insert lyrics and chords or not, and finally, you can pick the chords format, according to your MIDI player or music keyboard. Lastly, overwriting the original file, or saving everything in another file, is up to you. On the other hand, concerning the audio files, the variations that can be saved, are the followings. Tempo and key variation. Lyrics and chord saving or unsaving. If in the edit some markers have been inserted, you can choose to save only one part of the audio file, within the markers, the start and the ending. In the end, you can choose to save the file in MP3 or WAV format, and if MP3, the resolution, by clicking on the side arrow. Here as well, you can choose whether to overwrite the original file, or to save everything in another file. Let's go back to the File menu. Here, there's the Karaoke MIDI lecture priority. It could happen that in some MIDI files, there are lyrics in various formats. For example, in meta events format, or lyrics coming from unique systems. You can force the type of format to read, or let WinLive choose if you select the item, Automatic. Finally, you'll find the classic items, minimized to icon, and close. From Tools menu, you'll find the following items. Options. Here you can select the several settings of the program. General Options page. You can set the color of the lyrics and the filling, both for normal lyrics and alternated one, common in singing duets. Select the fade of the lyrics, and the color of the next extra lines. You can choose the wallpaper monochrome color, or set a photo as wallpaper. Choose the font of the letters for the lyrics, and if it has to appear bordered, more or less. With Anticipate and Postpone lyrics, you can move forward and back the entire lyrics, in order to place it correctly. Once again the Karaoke lecture priority function, already seen in the File menu. On the top right, you'll find the chords notation. And, if you want the standard style view, like A, B, C and so on. The unchanged variation like the chords have been written. Or the Italian style view, Do, WRH, Mi, Pitch A, and so on. Always according to the chords, you can choose whether to exclude the bass inversion. Moving the chords if you edit the song tone. Enable the lecture of an old format, common in general music keyboards, and lastly, enable the advanced scanning. WinLive has got an advanced system to recognize the chords in the MIDI file. Here you can choose whether to never calculate the automatic chords. Calculate them, if they're not written within the file. Or, calculate always the automatic file. You can choose here the size FO the chords bar, that can be viewed also by pressing the C button. The bar view that will show the chord term. The number of the cells in chords bar. And the related colors of the chords bar. In the underlying section, some items are optional. The updatings control when the program is launched. In fact, WinLive will check the presence of potential updates in the program by connecting with our server. You can select the lyrics optimization in MP3 files specifically for the optimal position of the line changing. Likewise for the optimization related to MIDI files. By selecting this box, you can improve the graphic quality of karaoke lyrics. Clearly, we don't recommend it for laptops with low graphic systems. Here you can choose the chords format saved in the MIDI files, according to our MIDI player or music keyboard. By this selection, you can save automatically an original copy of MIDI files. You can also save the lyrics and chords in WAV files. In the end, you can select the language of the program. In the MIDI audio page, you can set which audio page you should use, and the left and right channels. With refresh, you can update the devices in your laptop. Using the WASP drivers, to reduce the audio latency and regulating it with buffer audio bar. Finally, you can start immediately the audio song, cutting the starting silence. For the MIDI sector, you can select the device among those in the laptop, and maybe update the list by clicking on the refresh button. Or you can set as sound generator our WinLive synth engine, with professional sounds from our well-known WinLive Pro 20H program. If you select WinLive synth engine, you can choose the audio exit in the respective left and right channels, from which the audio generated by the synth will physically exit. You can start playing the MIDI file since the first note immediately, cutting the starting silence. Lastly, there are some advanced settings, recommended for experienced users, to improve the accuracy of the MIDI file playing, especially for poorly performing laptops. On the right side, you'll find the following buttons. Apply, to confirm the selected settings. Cancel, to go back to the previous settings. Reset all, to reset all the parameters and bring them back to the original status. Reset MIDI audio, to reset only the parameters concerning audio and MIDI settings. Alright, now let's go back to the main screen, and with the right key of the mouse, analyze all the functions. Load file, and save file, already checked in the menu file. Full screen, the underlying part and the possible chords bar are hidden. Normal, you go back to the starting screen. Minimize to icon, the program is shrunken to icon. Window size, you can choose to scale the screen to 1024x600, or enlarge it to full screen. Main karaoke mode. Here you choose the multiline scrolling lyrics, 2 top lines, or excluding the lyrics viewing. You can zoom or reduce the lyric size, or choose the letters font and the respective size. You can set a picture as wallpaper, and select it by clicking on monitor screen. Change color, for a very pleasing graphic effect. Lastly, with Stop Panic, you can reset immediately your MIDI file, in case, by mistake, the notes in the song were extended too much. Well, if you found this video useful, please leave thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you on the next video.